Hello, CU fans. I'm Vellic, guild leader of Ordo Veritas. I have with me Descuba, our head of activity, along with Silvermane, Ioshika, and Graceful Healer, our recruitment officers. Today, we're just going to answer a few questions submitted by some of our friends and Legend Gaming community members so that prospective Ordo Veritas applicants can, learn a little bit more about us. So let's just get right to doing that. Our first question comes from one of our guild members, Chris, which is simply, what made you decide to become an officer in Legend Gaming?
Does boredom count as an answer? No, what did I do? I was a guild leader for Terminus and kind of learned the ropes there, even though nothing was well done over there, and then decided, hey, I could do it better. So I applied to be an officer.
I just figured it was a good chance to meet everybody and get to know everyone else who joins the guild, for someone like me who's kind of shy joining a guild, I figured great chance to get to know people quick. And make sure everyone's, a tight team that actually wants to play together. So I think that's important.
For me, it was more of a fact. So I joined around when ESO came out, and I had a lot of fun with the guild back then. But the problem was I was only really a member, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get more involved in the community somehow. And then Unchained started coming out with news and beta releases and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I really got to get to this game because I know everyone's going to go absolutely crazy, and I want to be part of that, that core block. So that's why I joined up into officership, I guess. So
I had been with Legend Gaming for a while. I actually originally joined back in right before the Old Republic came out, and in previous gaming groups, I had been in more of a leadership position, but when I came to Legend Gaming, I just wanted to be, Minion 238, and I was happy being that for several years. And then I just finally got to the point where I wanted to take a more active hand in the in the community in general, and Camelot Unchained in specific, because I have very high hopes for this game.
Okay. Thank you, Silvermane. Thank you, everyone. As some of you know, but obviously our viewers wouldn't know, I joined Legend Gaming for Star Wars: The Old Republic, and I just kind of fell into officership, really. I was one of the most active members in running and being in roleplay events, so it just kind of seemed natural. Eventually, they asked me if I wanted to be a roleplay officer. And then with World of Darkness MMO starting to become a thing, I started a chapter for that, and of course that game was canceled. So there it is. And honestly, I'm an organizer. I manage things. I keep them organized and running smoothly. So hopefully. So when that game was canceled, I just kept volunteering to help out with things. I remember Dranith wants to know what everyone is playing right now while they're waiting for Camelot Unchained.
Well, sorry. I'm actually still playing the Old Republic very casually. I also am spending way too much time on Fallout 4, and periodically I jump into Rocket League, War Thunder, and League of Legends.
And I've just been playing, Halo 5 and Fallout 4. I dip back into WildStar every now and then, but I usually log in for about an hour and then wish I didn't patch because that was just a waste of time.
Alright.
I got so many RPGs I'm going through right now. I just started replaying Knights of the Old Republic again just because the new Star Wars movie came out, and lots of Heroes of the Storm and Vermintide and pretty much anything else that's multiplayer, so.
Nice. I've just been playing single-player games, PS3 games, Wii U games, a couple Steam games. Got Witcher 3 on the PC, stuff like that.
Okay. It's
Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. Yeah, it's replaying them all.
I don't know. You're mentioning too many console games for me.
Yeah.
I haven't played a console game in so long. I still have consoles. I just never play them.
Yeah.
Of course, I have tons of games on my computer thanks to Steam sales that I hardly ever play. But I've mostly been playing Don't Starve Together, Fallout 4. I just hit over 100 hours the other night in Fallout 4. And Vampire the Masquerade 20th Edition Tabletop. Doing a fair bit of that.
Oh, if we add tabletop into this, like D&D 3 times a week, I GM, yeah. all the games.
Oh, and I forgot NBA 2K16 because I bought it like most things, I was bored. So I bought it and then regretted it and then realized, hey, I got to make some use out of this.
I paid for this. I got to play it.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we have a couple questions from Brand. Brand wants to know which archetype subclass do you like most out of all the realms? Not just Arthurian, but all the realms. Which specific class do you like the most? Descuba?
I had forgotten all the classes.
That's not a good response.
As we're all frantically bringing up the page with the classes.
I'm hands free.
If I could choose, I would have rather have had the empath be Arthurian. Not too keen on the physician, I'll be honest. So that's second place. But I would have rather seen the empath. More of the direct healing style be applied to all the healers, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll learn the curve.
Yeah. I'm a really big fan of the Black Rider and the Red Cap both, even though neither one is Arthurian. My favorite tabletop RPG is Vampire the Masquerade. Obviously, I like all kinds of dark, gritty, and gothic type stuff. And so I like the Black Rider and the Red Cap. It's just, flavor-wise, I think they're cool.
See, I think I like the Hellbound the most out of any other class, but I mean, I'm probably going to end up dropping down, or sticking with Minstrel for launch. Unless I don't really like the mechanics.
Good choice.
No matter what, even if they're terrible, I'm still playing Minstrel. It's gonna be my main. I'm gonna be the best Minstrel on the realm. I'll tell you that.
I used to have an alt in Ragnarok Online that was a bard, and I just had my my laptop open playing the game while we were doing like castle sieges.
Yeah.
Good old macros. They made that game so much easier.
I think for me, it's a toss-up between the Abbot and the Black Knight. I really like the idea behind both those classes.
Booze or shields?
Cool.
Yep.
That's a hard choice.
All right.
You know it.
This is not a mandatory question, so you don't have to answer this one if you don't want to. But Brand wanted to know what your profession is in the real world.
Go
ahead.
I'm a network engineer / architect for a nationwide company that was based out of Hartford, Connecticut, but several years ago merged with another company that's now based out of Scottsdale, which is how I was able to kind of leverage my position to take my show on the road and work remotely, which is where I moved from Connecticut down to St. Petersburg, Florida.
Snazzy. Important job. I am an academic librarian. Technically, I'm academic library director, which pretty much just means within my little room. Because my library is not very big, but within my little room, I get to be the boss and order books and digital materials for people and teach students how to press the on button on a computer. And hopefully teach them how to do some research if they ever get the computer to turn on.
And I do, what's the easiest way to describe it? I'm a vendor. I work with a wood molding company for, your house and stuff. So basically, I work for the service arm of the distributor. So I go to Home Depots, I stock product, order product. I do all that. It's really fun, and I get to drive around a lot, and I don't really report to any boss other than if there's a major issue happening.
Then they will find you a boss. They will find someone qualified to chew you out, I'm sure. It's not my fault.
It usually isn't. You can always blame it on the DC.
I still study at university right now. I'm studying hydrology and Mandarin Chinese, so probably end up selling cars or something. I have no idea, but that's at least what I'm studying right now.
You're studying Mandarin Chinese, and what's the other one?
Hydrology. Yeah.
How do those two things? Yeah, how do those two things coincide?
Well, I mean, I don't just focus on hydrology. I'm more focusing on like environmental engineering and like how hydrology would be used for that. And in the future, I see a lot of environmental companies going into China and helping them, become more, environmentally friendly, just so to say. So
that's a good thing.
That's why I'm doing that. But like I said, probably cars. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I work at KFC, and that's about all I can say.
Y'all have KFC?
Y'all?
Yeah,
Us
y'all.
Canadians are pretty much exactly identical to Americans. We are the same.
I just didn't know you had
So
the
different.
I just didn't know you had the franchise KFC.
Yes.
That's cool though. Not my favorite fried chicken place, but it's acceptable.
Figured it would have been like Gretzky's fried chicken or something.
Anyway, Barrett asked for what general philosophy you plan to follow when it comes to choosing your character's banes and boons. For example, for myself, I intend to min-max to a certain degree, but I'm also a role player, so if anything is going to be obvious on my character and I think it would fit my character better and it's going to be apparent, then that's something I would be tempted to throw in, and even if it breaks min-maxing. So
That's easier for me. I'd say speed, agility. I want my healer to be fast. I want to be able to move around in the battlefield, heal this person, be over here. I don't even want to have to ask someone to move. And I think working together with stacking minstrels is going to be important for the healers to utilize speed. If we don't, we're just going to get left. The minstrels are going to run off, and we're not going to be able to gain that extra speed. So, just agility, I think, is going to be really important for everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm okay with being squishy as long as I can move around and have less duration on CC or something like that. As long, because my guy's not up there at front fighting people. I'm just in the back trying to make sure everyone is fighting people a little bit better. So.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of how I feel. I mean, I haven't really put a crazy amount of thought into it. It's just such a kind of.
we don't know a lot concrete about it yet, really.
Yeah, that's
they're mostly placeholders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I put some time into actually planning it out in alpha, and then all of a sudden, once I realized they were worthless in alpha, then I was like, I'm not going to put too much time into this until we get some real concrete stuff.
Yeah.
But it would be a lot of like a logic-based kind of thing where it's, all right, maybe I don't need to care that much about vision, so I can stack against my own vision and, be able to up something pretty awesome with a race or a class boon. Boon's the good one.
I think for me, it's going to be about min-maxing. It's going to depend on what the what the final veins and boons are, and kind of theory crafting what's going to be the most effective for whatever role or character or whatever role or class I'm playing, and how it's going to be able to most help the team in fights.
Yeah, given that I'm looking at playing an archer, probably going to be range and damage, flat out. Though that depends on what sort of bonuses the Sturm have, since I want to have my butt wings. Valonius asked, how are you deciding which race to play, now that I mentioned butt wings?
The one that looks the least horrible. So
I'm thinking it's human at this point.
So the opposite of butt wings.
Whichever one has the best racial passive. So, I'm going with straight human. I'm assuming they're going to have the most generic stats, but the Storm Rider looks a lot like a human, and they might have some type of lightning teleport move. So whatever's going to let my healer move quick or move from spot to spot really, really fast instantly is what I'm going to pick, even foregoing power, so.
Change your name to the Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually looking at Storm Rider just because I really like the lore behind that race, but we'll have to see once they release more becoming stories, because that probably will be the reason for my final decision on the class.
I'm still waiting on Gargoyle. Still waiting on Gargoyles. But
they'll probably be built for Minstrel, so.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, for me, it's largely RP based. I've already made my character, and my character's RP stories, which the character's a Sturm, or how the hell you're supposed to pronounce that word. So, unless Sturm end up being really terrible for my class, I'm gonna roll one. That's what's gonna happen. And then if they do end up being really terrible as an archer, I will retcon my entire story.
Oh no, they're fast.
It was always a human.
They run fast, so you should be good.
All right, Ardiel wants to know, what do you do when you're not gaming? Since we're talking so much about games.
Work and sleep.
And be bored, right?
Yeah, that's 95% of what I do. Just be bored. Oh, and that was an actual serious answer.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Play with my pets, work on writing my novel, hang out with friends. That's about it.
What do we do in the real world? Oh, we forgot. So much gaming.
So what is real life?
Yeah. I mean, I just, I don't know, I live by the ocean, so I try and stay around the beach, and I do Muay Thai. I don't know. I guess that might be interesting. I like MMA sports, watching UFC, and yeah, it's kind of me. So
nice. Yeah, since moving down here, I've started to take up a few hobbies, like learning to paddleboard, taking a couple sailing courses, spend some time at the beach, travel, hang out with friends. Actually, we go up to Orlando to the parks up there a lot, and travel whenever we can.
Cool. I would like to travel more than I get to, but I don't get to very much. It's expensive. I've got to move right now. But I mostly watch TV when I'm not on here talking to all of you people and playing games. I've been trying over the last several years to learn Japanese, but I'm still terrible. My memory for language is very poor. I am a practicing student of Aikido, but mostly I watch TV. My wife and I are both movie buffs, especially we watch a lot of horror movies, and I'm a huge fan of the Alien franchise.
Nice.
And lots of other franchises.
And the duck version of the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Honestly, most of the time when I'm not like on a game doing something, I'm either like, working out, eating, sleeping, or on the forums just like chatting with people. So it's pretty much how every day goes for me.
Am I still Lord of the Chat Box? I haven't checked in a long time.
Then probably not.
Oh no! Oh, you beat me. You're ahead of me by 190. Shit, I gotta start posting
snap.
Chat Box more.
All right.
I claim my title that no one paid attention to.
No one did. All right. Vosiridu wants to know, in basic terms, why did you join Legend Gaming?
Because this
Well-
community is actually... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, good.
Because the community is actually a community versus so many other communities that are not really community-like, you know? We actually have people active, people playing games together, so it's a community that's already, you know, alive. It's going.
Let's see. My old friend was part of the Terminus Guild and told me to join when I was getting into WildStar, so I did, and decided to stick around because it was actually a pretty awesome community.
A while back, I was running a WoW group or a WoW guild in. I think it was. I forget which expansion it was. I think it was Wrath of the Lich King, right before the Old Republic came out. And one of the guys who joined that raid group joined Legend Gaming for Knights of the Old Republic. A guy by the name of Aractus, and he kind of extolled the virtues of Legend Gaming and sold me on it. Joined, and I've been with you guys pretty much nonstop ever since. I think there was a little break in between when I stopped playing the Old Republic and when I started playing Elder Scrolls, but
All right. Yeah, for me, it was activity and RP, really. The community, and this is going, again, back to like 2 years before Star Wars The Old Republic came out, way pre-launch. But the community then was really active. People all of the forums, people in the community forums and the Star Wars forums, and people were role playing, and I was mainly focused in role play at the time more than other stuff. So, I mean, that's mainly what I wanted to do in that game. So people were active in that, so I came over and went, "Hey, what's up?"
That's that.
That was pretty simple. Yeah.
And now he's the community manager.
And now I've been here forever.
Yeah, I've been through a lot of guilds over the years. I've been playing PC games for quite a long time, and I don't know, I was just looking for something more stable, and I really like the multi-platform aspect of the community. So it's like, oh, well, some people aren't playing this anymore, or most people aren't anymore, so we're gonna move on to that and whatever. But I guess the initial reason I joined is because I really, really wanted to kick butt in ESO PvP, and I think we did that.
And we did.
We totally did. It was so fun. Oh my goodness, being a vampire dragon knight all day, all the kills.
All right, we're running out of time, so I've got 2 last questions, and then we're done. Real quick, Vasiridu wants to know, what does hardcore gaming mean to you? It doesn't mean anything to you. That would be a good addendum. I'll say for myself, to fill the void of silence while everyone thinks about it. I have a slight advantage since I know what the questions are. For me, it's a dedication to improvement. I am not the most hardcore gamer out there. I've already said I'm more of an organizer. And I think a lot of our officers in our community tend to be sometimes, because we're the ones that want to step up and organize and let everybody else have fun and kick ass. But I like to facilitate other people doing well. So I like to organize things, help get together guides, and I like to have the community focus on achievement. So that, to me, is what hardcore gaming is about in the Legend Gaming context. It's not so much about me, myself, achieving and being amazing. It's about me always being on and helping people, our officers always being around and helping people, so that that a large portion of our individual members can do really well and have achievements that the whole guild takes part in.
yeah. I think that, and I agree with all of that. I think that hardcore for me is, as it pertains to kind of the goals of whatever game you're playing. For Camelot Unchained, it's going to be PvP, and that's going to be that we, as collectively, are the best in the game, and anything that we can do to help get to that point. by using kind of efficient progression and efficient knowledge. And that means that encouraging people to learn about their classes, learn what works, learn what doesn't work, what synergies work better than other things, and just working to improve rather than relying on a big old Zerg ball.
And I'd probably say for me, it's just willingness to beat your head against a wall and not give up. Because I've been part of a lot of guilds where, first time to like struggles and troubles, we're just going to go to this other guild that's been able to progress slightly further than we can. Just start piggybacking and hopping onto other guilds, and it's just like a hardcore gaming is more community than it is self, and that's always kind of been my mindset. And I started off in Korean MMOs, so I'm very well used to beating my head against a wall, grinding for the extra level or the 0.01% drop chance item that I actually needed. There's like 4 weeks of my life I'll never get back.
You guys
To me,
really
it's
summarized
basically-
really good.
Yeah. To me, it's going to the grocery store and getting a week's worth supply of Stofers and a ton of Gatorade, peeing in cups, not leaving your desk for, hours and hours, at least 12 minimum. You can't justify anything lower than that. So,
Mom, Hot Pocket.
Mom. But I don't know. I think my favorite aspect of it is like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's hardcore, but maybe just learning from other people and just applying new strategies. And when you put a lot of work into something in game with a bunch of other people and it really pays off, like people are typing chat like, what the heck just hit us, like something like that, those are the best feelings. So that's kind of hardcore gaming for me. So
I'm trying to think of something decent to say. You guys really covered it all. Hardcore for me personally, minus the group scenario. Hardcore for me is, as a healer, I don't play DPS. I don't care if the target dies. I don't care if that tank goes down or is stopped. I just care if I can keep people alive. So hardcore for me is coming out of a fight with no one dying. 3 people die, it's probably my fault. I don't know how they play. So hardcore community always knows what the next person in their guild's going to do. They know that fire mage, is going to be this way. They know Vellic is going to, shoot 30,000 arrows from this one spot and not get seen. So if I know that person's not going to get damaged, I'm not even going to worry about them while they're doing that. Once you get to know each other's playstyle, you become hardcore. We're not going to be as hardcore as we want right away. Even if you guys have played games together, it's different. It's a new game, new abilities. So it'll take a bit, might take a month or two, but it comes from playing with the same people multiple times. And the hardest part is having all these new members and trying to incorporate and remember how everyone else who's new, how they play too. So
it's learning and wanting to improve. That's one of the reasons why we've always wanted to accept not just hardcore players, but also some of the casual players, as long as they're active and they're open to improving themselves. It's like, even if you're not hardcore, as I said, I'm not the most hardcore player ever, but everyone can get better. And as long as people are open to that, then we can help make you better. Last question is from me. What was your favorite PvP MMO and why?
Arcade, naval combat, 100 different class combinations, defending territory. I had 17 different farms on 2 accounts, constant battles. Yeah, until they messed it up, it was the best PvP experience I've ever had. So
yeah, I'll agree with Dark Age for the reasons that he said. Also, one thing I really liked about Dark Age that they
Arcade.
Oh, Arcade. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just said Dark Age.
Oh.
Yeah. No, for me it was Dark Age of Camelot. And again, it was the 3-realm combat did a lot for me. One thing in Dark Age that they did that I haven't seen since that I really liked was they made it so that you couldn't just click on you couldn't click on another character and immediately it wouldn't tell you what class they were or even what name they were. It would just give you their PvP rank. So you actually had certain classes like friars who would dress up looking like another class and be able to kind of trick people into jumping them in melee. Also the siege combat, and I think a lot of it's also nostalgia too, and that's what I'm kind of hoping from Camelot Unchained is to kind of bring that back.
For me, Ragnarok Online was like the only thing that I ever really fully, did only for PvP, and my greatest achievement out of that, like it was just for me, it was like a game where I really did min-max, like, and actually theorycraft, and that's kind of why I got turned off of trying to theorycraft on my own, just because it was such a giant pain in the ass for me. But yeah, our guild at one point held a castle for 2 weeks straight of daily like 3-hour combat, and I ended up being able to set a great macro on my computer and was able to run across the street to buy a case of beer to continue to get drunk while we were holding it for the 13th day. It was a fun night.
I actually never played the original Deox, so I'm not exactly sure what I should be expecting for this next coming one, but it seems like everyone's ecstatic about it, so I'm pretty ecstatic too. But for me, I played a lot of EVE Online, so yeah, just having that real sense of danger, because that's the only game that I know of where you can literally watch time blow up, because if a ship gets destroyed, it's like, well, there's like 136 hours right there. So, yeah.
I was going to say Spreadsheets Online.
Yeah,
EVE
Online. So
EVE
good.
Online was my favorite PvP MMO. I love the freedom and especially the ever persistent danger. You're never safe in the game, anywhere. Doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing, you're never freaking safe. I love that. I think the only other game that's ever given me that feeling at all was Alien vs. Predator 2. An FPS game, and just because predators could go freaking invisible and you can't see them, so then you're walking around as a human going, I'm gonna die. It's like the same feeling in EVE. You're flying around and everywhere. I'm like, I'm in a safe area. I'm gonna go mine. I don't leave the computer in AFK. I'm still sitting there like, somebody could kill me. They're probably not going to, but they could.
I love that game. Really do.
I haven't played in ages,
but I will never play it again. So much of my life, but yeah, love that game.
All right, well, that's it. It's just a little peek, a little view about us, and if you've tuned into this video and hung out and made it through, I want to thank you for watching. And if you don't end up joining Ordo Veritas, then I will see you on the field.